Hello. I'm so glad you decided to step into my coffin, where each story is another stitch in a reality that most deny. Each story has a potential to make you question what you see, for they are all based on moments in everyday life. Real events that made those who lived through it feel a chill down their spine. Me, I'm more than happy to spread that fear. Hell, even I get a cold feeling in the gut knowing they still question, was it real? The Dead and Laughing Show presents Live with the Afterlife. Potions and Poisons, a witch's guide to the brewing of potent poisons. Well, I gotta get done. Hello, bloodies. Don't mind what you just heard. Actually, somebody asked me for a recipe, and since they build up a tolerance, they wanted something that was stronger. I don't know what they're going to do with it. You know what? I'm not going to say anymore. I'll leave it at that. No evidence, no proof. I'll put this back. Also, from the last episode, yeah, Chubbs got us that book. I don't know where he got it from. He can't read, so it's just it's a little strange. Where the hell he got it, I have no clue. You know what? You're here for a scary story, and I think I have a perfect one going along with what the hell I was just talking about. Witches. Since I actually have witches in the family, my great-grandmother dealt with witchcraft. I don't know the full extent of what the fuck she actually went through, what exactly she did, but apparently she did. Apparently she had extensive knowledge to this. But my grandmother, who also dabbled in witchcraft, didn't want to say anything else about what her mother did. She said a little bit, but she did not want to tell anything else. She just kept it the way it was. That was it. As is the same thing for my mother. She didn't want to say anything what she was doing, that she was fucking around with. Anything she learned from my grandmother, she did not want to say. And I got them both in the same room, and neither of them wanted to say. So this story actually kind of reminds me of them. Except for certain parts. Except for certain parts. They didn't do all of that crazy shit. But they did dabble in all that spooky witchcraft shit. Only reason why I say that is that, people have tried on me and no, it doesn't work. On me, it doesn't work. I've seen it work for others, but it doesn't work on me. I don't know. Maybe because I'm dead. Possibly. Who fucking knows? I have no idea. They didn't want to tell me. Hey, maybe they did something. Fuck if I know. But you're not here for that. I was going to bring up the weather, but you know what? You're not here for that. Right now I have a fan underneath the desk blowing air. Not really cool air, blowing air. And you can't see it, but there's nothing below. Because I'm tired of sitting in soup. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. So just letting everything dry off everywhere. I mean, wearing a shirt for this. Hey, maybe that's why Chubbs has been acting up. He's just tired of seeing me and Ghoulie Julie walking around just ass out. Maybe he's rebelling. Hello, my friend. Why are you tearing up? Every time I open the locks, he tears up. I don't get it. He, she, whatever the fuck it is. I really have no idea. It's a book. The story that I'm about to read to you is another true story. It was submitted by somebody who still wants to remain anonymous. Everybody wants to remain anonymous. I think it's because these stories sound fucking crazy. They don't sound outlandishly nuts. But when you hear them, you think, this guy's got to be full of shit. When you read them, you think the same. But they all swear them to be true. All of them swear these stories to be true. So, this one is called It Was the Bruja. And if you don't know, Bruja means witch in Spanish. Hello. I found out this story when I was a teenager. Having to deal with my father who didn't like my choice of lifestyle. He started telling me certain things, to act certain ways. He said it was to protect me, but honestly, I thought he was full of it. My father was from Mexico, so he's had to hear a lot of crazy stories. As I was younger, I noticed he was treating me differently, more protective, especially as we went outside. And yes, we did live in Mexico. Oh, this guy's from Mexico. I thought it was just his father. And when we lived there, sorry, I got fucked up. And when we lived there, he would be very protective when we were outside, especially at night. Especially if we heard sounds coming from the roof. He would tell us not to go outside. Me and my younger sister, he would just tell us, stay inside. Since I was the older brother, he told me, lock the doors. So I would lock the doors. Not thinking about what it was. Just thinking maybe it was an animal. I don't know. He wasn't acting like it was an animal. He acted as if something was trying to get into the home. Really, it just sounded like a pitter-patter of animal claws, just feet crawling across, doing whatever. That's about it. As I got older, I never really questioned him, but I started wondering, why was he acting like that? Why would he act like that in such a way? But the question would come here and there and fade. As I was older, and when I became a teenager and already in high school, and already certain of who I meant to be, my father had an issue with it. He didn't like it. He judged, he cursed, he swore. Everything you could say negative in Spanish, I heard. But you could tell he still cared. Well, at least he cared. Even though he didn't agree or enjoy what I chose to do for my life. What the fuck were you doing? I'm getting the hint here, but you know. One day, when I was outside and it was getting darker, he told me to come inside. That same reaction that he would do when I was a young child. I didn't even think anything negative from it. I just thought, why are you telling me to come inside? My father, speaking half English, Spanish, trying to work more of his English in, just yelled out, "Ay, pendejo, get in the house." But why? Like, just get in the house. So I walked in, asking him, why are you acting like this? Why do you act like this with me? Why do you always treat me like this? And what the fuck? Why would you jump? Why would you jump like that? Why do you always tell me to come inside, but not? Oh, okay. But not my little sister. You won't tell her anything, but you'll tell me. Why? Then he yelled out to her, "Get in the house." Said in Spanish that he didn't know that she was outside. He didn't know they were outside in the backyard together. So he still questioned him. Why? His father said, "I'll tell you later." Like, tell me now. Why? And confronted him. His His father told him, "You remember those sounds we used to hear when you were little?" "Yeah." By this point, the conversation switched to Spanish. I am not going to read that in Spanish. But it does say it in English. "You remember the sounds when you were little?" "Yes, I remember. I heard the same thing earlier." "What do you mean you heard the same thing?" "I heard it as the sun started going down." What sounds are you talking about?" "The sounds on the roof. Sounds like an animal just scraping across the roof." You know what? It could just be an animal. It doesn't. What do you think it is? That's what I thought it was. I always thought it was an animal when I was younger. What could it have been? What could you have thought it to be? His father went quiet. His father started telling him, "Look, there's some things I haven't told you, and I don't want to tell you yet, but I will tell you soon. Just for right now, please listen to me and get in the fucking house." Wow. As I got inside the house, I told my little sister to come in and bring her toys. We closed up everything, locked everything shut, and that was the end of that. We did hear a slight scratching across the roof, but it didn't last long. So the next day, I asked him when he was home, what was that about? Why were you acting that way? Why were you? I always thought you were just overprotective. I always thought you were just honestly acting crazy. But why are you acting like that? What is it? His father stopped. Clearly, on his face, didn't want to talk about it. "Mijo, I will say this. Every time I hear that, I have a fear that one of you are going to be gone." "What? What are you talking about? Like, you know how I said when I was younger I had a brother. Your uncle, the fuck name is that? I'm sorry, I cannot read that name because I might screw it up. You've seen pictures of him, me and him when we were younger." "Yeah, and you guys said that he was abducted, that he got kidnapped. But one thing we didn't tell you was how." "What do you mean how?" When I was a little boy in Mexico, me and my brother were outside. My mom told me to come inside and to bring my brother. I told him, "Let's go." We started heading back in. He didn't really want to go inside. He didn't have any issues. He just wanted to stay outside and play. So he said, "In a little bit," and they were playing. Finally, his mother said, "Get in the house now." So when I was a little boy and I heard my mother say that in that tone, I thought, I'm going to get my ass whooped. I'm in trouble. I'm going to get spanked. I'm going to get spanked. He turned around to yell to his brother. They started running back. My mother started to panic. Started to frantically say, "Come on, come on, come on. Hurry, hurry. Come on, come on, come on. Faster." Waving her hands, telling us to hurry, hurry, hurry. I didn't know what she was doing. I thought it was a game. I thought it was a fun game for us to play. But I was wrong. And I did not know exactly how wrong I was. I made it to the house. Your Theo didn't. We didn't know what happened to him. It was already dark by that point. My mother did not want to say. I asked, where did he go? She said, don't worry. He's gone. But where did he go? He was behind me. Where did he go? She closed the door and locked it. She didn't want to talk about it after that. A few moments later, not even a minute or so, we heard something hit the roof. We went to go check. We opened the door, looked around. We found a shoe. We found his shoe, only one. Didn't know where it came from. Didn't know if that's what was made the sound against the roof. Although we think it actually was. Like my mother told me years later that what happened to your Theo could have happened to me. So I asked her, well, what do you mean? What? You said he was kidnapped. Who do you think took him? My mother told me it was the witch. The witches took him. That's fucking crazy. The guy who sent this in says, let's see. When my father was telling me all this, I did not think that he was lying. He didn't show that he was lying to me. He didn't show that he was joking in any way. I didn't know what to think. I didn't know what to say. Honestly, I told him, you're joking. You're joking. Why are you telling me this? He said, no, I'm not. When the witch took my brother, I never seen him again. The last thing we got from him was a shoe. It fell from the sky. It hit the roof. That was it. Ever since then, I've been scared, worried that that witch will come back and take you or your sister. Please just listen to me with what I say. Wow. I listened. I didn't want to believe it, but I listened. As the days went on, sometimes you would hear it, and my father would say, get in the house. Hurry up, get in the house. Because he would start to hear these sounds again. So we would go inside the house. When I started to spend the night at friends' homes and I started to hear that, I would get uneasy. I would get a little spooked, a little freaked out at the fact that I'm hearing this at a friend's house. I didn't tell them. I just hid it inside. I continued to think and hope that I wouldn't get picked up if I went outside. Obviously, to this day, nothing has happened, but occasionally I still do hear those sounds. I'm a older fellow now, and I have my own children to worry about. Me and my partner make sure that they're taken care of, and that if I hear those sounds, I tell them to get inside. Because something might take them. Whether they're in the backyard or the front yard, I still tell them to get inside. Damn, so that's the end of it. That's a trip. I'm not gonna lie, that's a fucking trip. That's fucking crazy. I don't know what to think about that. So I fuck around a lot, but I have seen like those videos where like you see like the flying witches and you see like a black shape just flying around in Mexico and all that shit. Why is it always Mexico? Actually, no, it can't always be Mexico. There are cryptids in the U.S. as well, and they are all equally fucking crazy. If you don't believe me, look it up. Whether you believe it or not, still some crazy stories. But this, witches stealing kids and flying the fuck away. Didn't expect that one. Wonder what they did with the shoe. Great, my ADHD is active. I'm wondering what did they do to the shoe? It's like, would that be considered like a cursed object now? Is that what that would be considered? Just wondering. I mean, that's if it's true, that's pretty fucked up. That's pretty fucked up that somebody's kid was kidnapped. His uncle was taken, and the only thing that they can get was a shoe. That's pretty fucked up. And this dude's doing the same thing, making sure his kids are safe. And that's all you can do. Make sure they're safe. Too bad there's a lot of fucking idiots who don't do that anymore and their kids are little dipshits. I'm not gonna lie about it. You know what? I don't have children. Almost had children. I don't have children, but I am an uncle. Do have nieces, nephews. And yeah, any of them got hurt. Yeah, the person who did that, you know, is fucked. not by me, by their parents, and if their parents need help, then by me as well. I've said it before in interviews and such. My life wasn't that great. Didn't have to deal with being abducted or anything like that. But holy shit, that's pretty fucked up. It doesn't explain why his dad was acting like that towards him. It just seems like he didn't like the fact. Obviously, saying that he didn't outright say that he's gay, but yeah, clearly his dad had an issue with that. But it didn't stop him from actually loving him. He still was worried, even though he didn't agree with what he was doing. Well, it's not your job to agree. That's the way he is. That's the way they are. It's your job to love, care, and support. Unless they're fucking insane. I mean, hey, there's exceptions to all this. If they're fucking crazy, that's a different story. I mean crazy in a bad way. Not crazy like, oh, they're crazy. No, I mean crazy in a bad way. Like, there's bodies inside their basement, backyard, in the stew. That's a whole other level of crazy. Fucking shit. Well, hopefully you enjoyed that. If anything you can take away from this one, take care of your kids. Take care of your family. Because that's some weird shit. Whether or not it was a witch, whether or not it was something else, still, take care of them. Take care of yourself. Don't be a piece of shit. Oh, man. That's a fucked up story. Really don't know what else to say about that one besides that was a fucked up one. Like, well, there's photographic evidence that his brother was there and then he just disappeared. It's like, well, that's holy shit. That's just crazy. He still hears the sounds every now and then. I mean, you can excuse it as maybe it's a fucking raccoon. Maybe it's a possum. Maybe. I'm not saying it definitely is. But you never know. Crazy shit is crazy shit. Crazier things have happened. in people's lives, even if they want to deny it. Crazy shit happens. And it doesn't happen when you're ready and wanting to film it. It happens when you least expect it. That's when that shit actually happens. That's when stuff that's pretty damn nuts begins around you. Like I said, I hope you enjoyed that. If you have a story, not about abduction, if you have a story about maybe witches, maybe it's just some crazy shit, maybe you have experienced anything with witchcraft, maybe you've tried and dabbled yourself. That sounded weird. If you dabble yourself, hopefully you enjoy it. But really, if you've done any of that and you have a crazy story and you wanted to be on here, feel free, let me know. Put it in the comments, since now this is on YouTube. Also, Spotify. So YouTube, you can watch it at home, you can watch it on your phone. Spotify, you can watch it on your phone, or you could just listen to it on the go. Let's do it while you work, while you dig a ditch, while you're while you're taking care of the graveyard, while you're working in a mortuary, you know, embalming. While you're doing all this stuff, you get to hear my voice, if you want to call it that, telling you a story just to ease the mood, or maybe give you those little chills that you want. Good or bad, up to you. Depends on how you like it. Other than that, if you want to keep up to date with everything Dead and Laughing related, remember, follow on Instagram. You'll see everything, including for live interviews, which you can actually take part of. You could be writing to us, say whatever the hell you want, as long as it's respectful. I don't want no disrespectful audience member to jump in and start talking shit about the guest. Had that one time and shut that shit down pretty quick. It's like you're inviting somebody else into your home. They're being respectful. That means you don't be disrespectful. Even if you disagree, don't be disrespectful. If you disagree, disagree. Don't be a dick. So, if you want to see those, go ahead and check them out. A lot of them are already on YouTube. Some of the most recent ones haven't been on YouTube yet. Editing process is taking a little bit. The editor we have, he's got a lot on his plate. He's been doing a lot of shit. He's not only working on the Dead and Laughing show, but he's also doing his own thing and helping out other friends as well. So, yeah. You know what? Give him a hand of applause. Round of applause. What the hell is wrong with me? Me and words, no work, something. Fuck. Oh, yeah. Merch, Threadless for Dead and Laughing show and for Live with the Afterlife. So go check that out. TikTok, comic strip, which, as I said before in the last video, comic strip is going to be taking a break. I'm still going to do the little bits here and there, so still be on those, but I'm actually working on something bigger. I already have a first comic book draft, which is already over 30 pages. I'm going to be fixing that up, and I'm going to be working on that mostly, alongside with everything else, all my other work. If you ever want a commission, feel free to let me know. You want your story on here? Again, let me know. Put it in the comments. Don't worry, I don't bite unless you ask me to, and it will be enjoyable. I got to clean up this office. When Chubbs was walking around, he left a little landmine. So I have to deal with that. Alright. Bye, bloodies. Fucking Chubbs!